Hello and welcome to the Creating Your Online Momentum Plan session. My name is Kyshira Moffett and I am the founder of the Power Collective, and my firm specializes in helping small business owners learn how to package their expertise into high-ticket services and sell them online using social media. Social media will be the focal point for today's session, and I'm excited to share with you how to begin to create momentum for yourself and your brand online. So if you are taking notes, you can organize your notes into 7 sections. If you see me looking down, I am looking at my outline for the session today. So let's go ahead and dive in without further ado. So first and foremost, market research. Before you dive into social media and content creation, you have to understand who you are communicating with. 9 times out of 10, if you are in business, you already have an idea of who your customer is because you've already developed a product or service. However, we need to take it a step further with our market research. We need to understand where are our customers hanging out online, and more importantly, what platforms are they leveraging to make a buying decision. Not everyone buys from every platform. Not everyone engages in marketing content on every platform. And what's nice about marketing in today's day and age is that this information is actually really easy to find. You can look in industry trend reports, industry publications. A lot of the social platforms even have demographic breakdowns available for free, such as Facebook through Facebook Business Manager, on how you can understand how to leverage their platforms for your industry and business. I even appreciate that Facebook gives you the option of comparing your business to a competitor's business in terms of social media engagement. So I would encourage you first to understand where your customers hanging out on social media. Again, most business owners tend to select social media platforms based on their personal preference or where all of their friends are hanging out or which platforms they feel like everyone else is on versus thinking about where is your customer. For example, the average business owner may say, I just simply need a Facebook page. When in actuality, your customers may make buying decisions based on what they see on Pinterest or on YouTube. So you don't want to put a lot of effort and marketing dollars into the wrong platform. So make sure that you're conducting really strong and thorough market research. Number 2, select your platforms and learn all of the features. So once you've decided which social network or networks you are going to leverage for your business, it is so important to understand every feature that it offers. Oftentimes, we are leaving money on the table simply because we are not leveraging a platform all the way. We are simply posting and going. I think Facebook is the best example of this. Facebook, specifically on the business page, has so many features that people are not using, such as having a Facebook shop. Now, I think people feel like if they have a Facebook shop, that means people have to pay through Facebook and you're going to lose a proportion of your revenue, which could be true if you're actually using Facebook to sell. But there's also an option where when you create a Facebook shop, the buy now button actually links to your website and to your store. So you can retain those profits and you're simply leveraging Facebook to drive traffic. Facebook Insights and Analytics. It goes so much deeper than who's following you and what time they're liking. They even break down video analytics around what's the average age of the person who's watching your videos the most. There is so much you can do. There's instant messaging features with automatic replies. There's the ability for people to book appointments with you straight through Facebook. Facebook integrates with other tools such as Acuity and things like that. And I'm just giving you a ton of different examples so that you can think outside of the box of simply posting a photo to your timeline or a caption and a status and then leaving. So it's so important to research all of the features. Again, present day, this is very easy because a lot of these platforms, I would even argue all of them, have free training centers where they teach you how to use every feature of the platform. On Facebook, it's called Facebook Blueprint. On Twitter, it's called Twitter Flight School. And if you didn't know, Instagram is owned by Facebook, so you can also learn about Instagram through Facebook Blueprint. And you can actually type these terms into Google, like Facebook Blueprint, Twitter Flight School, and the direct links will come up. And again, it is completely free. If you want to take it a step further, there are beginner, intermediate, and advanced level classes available through platforms such as Udemy or lynda.com, and there's even strategists who sell courses on these techniques and topics. And even if you plan to outsource your social media, it is still important for you to just have a high level understanding of all of the features of the platform and what success looks like in that platform in terms of how you're measuring it, so you can identify if the person that you hire to manage your social channels is actually doing a good job. So step number 3 is to develop a posting schedule. Now, if you are brand new to social media, you kind of have to play it by ear because you don't really have data to go on yet, right? What's really nice about Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even LinkedIn is that you can actually see based on your engagement, they will tell you when are your followers actually online for you to post. When you're trying to build your platform, you don't have any followers, so you just want to post at optimal times. And there, if you Google this, a lot of platforms such as HubSpot and Buffer, they give you recommended posting times. So they typically say post between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., and then again between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m., and then again sometime between like midday, like again scheduling between like 6 and 8 p.m. And you can, of course, leverage scheduling tools to do this. And so in the beginning, you play it by ear. But as you build your audience, you really want to look at insights to understand when are your audience members online? When are the people who follow you are actually like looking at their phones or looking at their computers and engaging on social media? So you want to develop your posting schedule. And in addition to that, there's 2 like sub points for that. The first one is actually identifying if you want to use a scheduling tool. So some of my favorite scheduling tools include Facebook Creator Studio, which is completely free for Facebook and Instagram. There's also later.com. There's Planoly.com. So that's spelled Planoly. That's for Instagram. There's CoSchedule. There's Buffer. There's Hootsuite. And then there's also a platform called SmarterQ and SocialBee. SmarterQ is what I actually used previously until switching to SocialBee, and they do very similar things. It's just that SocialBee had a really good promotion running, to be honest with you. But these 2 in particular, you are able to manage way more social media profiles than like the norm. Like if you end up doing social media for someone else, these will be great tools. But they also have a feature called evergreen recycling, which basically means if you upload content, it will continue to republish it at the designated times until you tell it to stop. So for example, if you mainly publish, let's say, inspirational quotes and podcasts, you can say publish my inspirational quotes Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 12, publish my podcast Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 5, and you can upload all of your content. Let's say you upload 30 pieces of content into both categories. Those pieces of content will run over and over again for all eternity until you turn it off. So those are really great platforms. The second thing to think about with your posting schedule is your KPIs, which are key performance indicators. And that's really you thinking about, how am I going to define success on social media? What do I actually want to track? KPIs are going to look different for every business. For example, in my business, my top KPIs actually deal with my social media video content more than anything else. So we track my live stream videos, the time that I do the videos, comments, likes, views, watch time, shares, how many people actually click the links that we reference in that live stream. I track that in much more detail than I track how much engagement a post received, because in my business, video is what really drives revenue. So you have to determine for your business what drives revenue and what really matters for you. And this is something that we actually on my team track via Google Sheets. But if you type into Google KPI dashboards, you can actually find apps and tools that are paid tools that you can use to automatically track these things by connecting them to your social platforms. So it just depends on what level of business you're in and how much data you actually need to track. So the next step is number 4, creating your content, which is like the hardest part for a lot of people. But your content should do 3 things on social media, and that is educate, entertain, and inspire. So first and foremost, educate. So when we think about educating, we want to make sure that we are always educating our consumers on our brand and what we do. We don't want to simply just become a resource for funny things and hip things, but people don't actually know what we do. They just enjoy our page and they enjoy our content, but they don't actually take action with us. So when you think about educate, again, it really depends on your industry. So I'll give you 2 examples. As a business coach, when I'm educating, I'm typically educating on the things that I coach on. I'm typically giving out little tips and tricks and things like that. But I'm also educating my consumers on my various offers, why they should take action, what I do, how I've helped people, case studies, things like that. An example in cosmetics, for example, if you sell a cosmetics product, of educating could look like tutorials on how to apply a product, how to remove a product, different ways to leverage a product, different ways to style a product. That could be education. The next segment, entertain. So we have to all be honest. The most shared content on social media is something that gets people talking. It either gets them laughing, it gets them crying, it gets them joking, it gets them infuriated, but it's all of that is some form of entertainment, right? Now, of course, you want to stay within the lines of your company values, your brand values. I don't recommend talking about things like politics and all of that stuff. Like, that can get you in some hot water unless that's your brand. But for the most part, really thinking about how can you tie in potentially pop culture or current events or even just funny memes into your brand. So a really good example is the brand Fenty Beauty, which is a cosmetics brand, and they do a really good job of whatever the latest hot, funny meme is that's trending. They'll tie it into their content in some way and make it about their product, right? So for example, one meme that was trending on Twitter, I believe a couple months ago, and it may still be floating around, was this meme about a high school cafeteria, and it was like, all of the different cool kid tables, and the meme was, what table are you at, right? And so the different versions basically had different celebrities on it, like, oh, which musician's table would you sit at, things like that. So they took that meme and they put their products at the table and different groups of their products and said, which table would you sit at for our brand? So that's a really good example of entertain. And lastly, inspire. And so in this, I mean inspire your audience to take action. So we don't simply want to be on social to get likes and comments. We are there to generate leads and get sales. So we need to have content that inspires our audiences to take action. In my world, that looks like sharing, again, testimonials, success stories, client wins, special bonuses. That could also look like flash sales. That could look like limited edition opportunities, things like that. So really thinking about what type of content can I create to inspire my audience to take action. Number 5, do not forget your call to action, okay? In every single post, you want to have a call to action. You do not want to leave your audience hanging. Now, this call to action doesn't always have to be about buying, but the call to action could simply be share this with a friend, or comment down below, or tag a friend. That's a simple call to action. Another call to action could look like subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my podcast, join our Facebook group. Okay. Another example could be getting them to become prospects in your database. That looks like subscribe to our newsletter, download our latest free case study, opt in for a free shipping code, join our VIP text club. And then, of course, there's your buy now CTAs, which could look like click the link in my bio to purchase, visit this link to check out before supplies run out. Apply for our coaching program, book your discovery call, book your appointment now. So you do not ever want to forget the call to action. You do not want to cultivate an audience who is simply used to liking and scrolling, but instead people who are used to taking action when they see you on the timeline. Number 6, check your analytics weekly. Do not be fooled by the vanity metrics. Do not assume that you are doing well because you're getting likes. So you want to always make it a habit to pull your analytics. These are free through Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn and YouTube. The analytics dashboards go really deep. Pull them. I would recommend compiling them into one place. I actually have an analytics dashboard for my business that actually my assistant fills out on a monthly basis, actually. And then we have a scaled down version we use on a weekly basis that tracks our more pressing KPIs, which is our video analytics. So you want to track this because you really need to understand, especially as you're building a following, who are you attracting? Because they will tell you the locations and age of your followers, right? And what else they're interested in. You want to see what content really resonated, which content actually got the most clicks, which also means you'll need to pull in the back end of your website to look at your sales for the week, your email signups, your appointment bookings, your text opt-in signups. If you don't already have a system for trackable links, you may want to start using a system such as Bitly, which is bit.ly, which is a website, or even Google trackable links, so that you can actually have a way of tracking clicks as well. So the social networks will tell you how many clicks you got, but typically they tell you overall, like for the day or for the week, and you want to know per post. So Check your analytics on a weekly basis. And number 7, adjust your plan as needed. Social media is ever changing. Algorithms are ever changing. Because something works today doesn't mean that it will work next month. That's why you have to pull your analytics and also start to adjust. You may need to adjust your posting times. You may need to adjust how often you post. You may need to adjust your content type and style. Those things are okay, but you have to be aware in order to do that. If you aren't looking at your numbers and you aren't tracking your week-to-week activities, you can just falsely assume that social media just doesn't work for you and just throw it away and miss out on opportunity versus actually saying, hey, you know what? This content performed really well on Friday, but for some reason on Wednesday it didn't. Let's test out only posting it on Fridays, or let's test out changing the time of it on Wednesday for this coming week and see what happens. Social media and marketing in general is a series of experiments. So with that, I hope that you enjoy this session. For more tips like this, I encourage you to visit my website, thepowercollective.co/resources. At this page, you will find all of my free playbooks, video trainings, and much more on social media, marketing, and entrepreneurship in general. Again, that is thepowercollective.co/resources. I am super active on social media. I host live stream trainings every single week on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Periscope. So check those out. And I also upload regularly to my YouTube channel as well. I am at Kyshira on every single platform, so I'm not easy to find. Okay, well, no, I am easy to find. I was gonna say I'm not hard to find. So with that, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.